be hearing from us. We seem to have hit a few technical challenges, but we're back now. Imelda, I can see you're a speaker. Could you please unmute so you could speak to us and introduce yourself? I can also see Jane is also here. I've sent you an invitation for you to be a speaker. Please do accept it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Imelda Osoro. I'm the managing partner at Think Mint Nigeria, and the founder of Business Women Hub. It's exciting to be here, and I'm looking forward to exciting conversations on the role of women in African real estate. Thank you.
You are welcome, and we look forward to having you here as well. We are also excited to hear from you and from Jane as well. Like I had said earlier, Jane had sent her apologies. She'll be joining us in a few minutes. She'll be joining us at 8:30 because she was in an event, but worry not, she'll be here with us. So before we go ahead with the questions and the topics we had prepared for us today, maybe Imelda, you could talk to us and you could tell us how far your experience so far in the real estate industry, how many years you've been in the industry. But before you do, I can see Jane is a speaker here as well. Jane, do you mind introducing yourself, please?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jane Bayu. I run a company called Amara Realty. I'm the founder and CEO, and I've been in this business, in the real estate business, for a number of years. But as Amara Realty, we've been in existence since 2021. So this is our fourth year in business.
Wow, and we look forward to hearing more about how you have been and how your company has grown. I'm sure there are so many
Yes.
other inspiring real estate entrepreneurs in the space with us. Remember, if you have a question
Mhm.
for any of our speakers, you could tag them below. So, Imelda, please tell us about your experience in the industry and how many years you've been doing it.
Okay. Well, as a brand at Think Mint Nigeria, we've been in business since 2020. So this will be our fourth year in business, and then aside from Think Mint, I've been in a real estate space since 2016, and so that's officially about 8 years now as a real estate consultant, as the case may be, and in sales of properties, marketing, basically, which is our forte at Think Mint Nigeria. And I would say that the experience has been exciting and quite interesting as well. And a lot of people think that real estate space is more like a male dominated field, or is more for males, and that used to be the notion in those days. So you want to be a realtor or operate within the real estate industry, as the case may be, you have to be a male. But now we can see that there are many women who are thriving within the real estate space in different capacities, and I'll say that the experience has been great, and for us, interesting, because we're able to connect buyers or would be buyers to the best projects across Nigeria, and also help them to access these properties, because that's one very important part in real estate transactions, or in the real estate space or cycle, as the case may be. Being able to access properties is a very big issue, because there's nobody to actually guide you, there's nobody to actually give you all the understanding that you need in terms of real estate investment. Some people have done it really wrongly. You see people who have bought properties in wrong locations just because they just wanted to dabble into real estate, they wanted to just buy something, and they bought it in wrong locations where they're not able to get maximum returns within a specific period of time. So this is one of the things that we do, I think, means guide you properly. And like I said, it's been a very wonderful experience. Of course, the fact that a lot of times people will just think that used to be is a male dominated industry, but that has also over the time passed by, and it's now well accepted that women also play in the real estate space, basically.
All right, thank you so much for that email. That is also very, your journey is very inspiring to a lot of people. So thank you. Jane, could you please highlight some of the challenges that you have encountered in the last 4 years in the industry building your company? What are some of the challenges that you have encountered, and how can, or what are some ways you feel these challenges can be addressed effectively?
Okay, for me, being in the real estate industry, one of the things that I have found, and this is particularly when I do my travels, is how do I balance my work and my life, particularly because I have a family, and being a woman in the real estate industry, or in any industry for that matter, it comes with the challenges of having to balance your family life and also to balance the work that you're doing. So that for me has been one of the major challenges, because you have to get somebody to sit in for you to do your responsibilities as a mother, as a wife, if you're married. And so for me, that has been one of the main reasons and main challenges. The other thing that I have seen is, as my friend Imelda has stated, real estate is deemed to be a male dominated field. And for that reason, it comes with its own share of biases against women. So when we are in the real estate industry, by default, we are in a biased position, because most people expect that this is a male dominated field. And therefore, we are not, for lack of a better word, taken too seriously in the beginning. And for that reason, we have to work harder than our male counterparts to prove that actually we can do, if not as much as they can do, but even better. So, those stereotypes that we have in the market, those perceptions that this is a male dominated field, that also has come as a deterrent to many women entering into the real estate space. So, those are some of the challenges that I can highlight. In addition, let's say the issue of networking. If you go to a golf course, and that's where most of the deals are made, 90% of the people in that golf course will be men. If you go to other social gatherings, 90% of those people will be men. Why? Because they have the luxury of time that most women do not have. So, in the real estate industry, you really have to network for you to get clients and clients who are serious and net worth. So when it's limited and you're not able to network as much as your male counterparts, that also poses a limitation as to how much can you do in this field. So those are some of the challenges that I would say we've been facing as women in this market. Yeah. And again, if you look at, if you're a woman who wants to start a real estate company, it comes with the capital requirements. And if you have been working and have been working elsewhere, in most companies, we have the income disparity, where you find that a man and a woman in the same position, most likely the man will get paid more than this woman in the same position. And therefore, even accumulating the capital that you need to start your real estate company also comes as a challenge. So, we also have that issue of income disparity that also makes it harder for women to start up their own real estate companies, because they do not have enough financial backing. And even when you go to the banks, it also comes with the challenges. If you have to get a facility from the bank, you have to show that you have assets, which a lot of women, again, do not have. And this is actually cultural, where it has been wired that women are not asset holders, or they do not own real estate. if you buy a piece of land, let's say as a family, the tendency is for that piece of land to be titled in the name of the husband if you're married. And that also poses as a challenge because when the bank tells you, come with security, you don't have any security to offer. So those are some of the challenges, Karen, I can highlight. I could go on and on because there are many, but for the strong-hearted, we persevere and we get on and we succeed in this business.
Wow, thank you so much for highlighting all that, Jane. It's actually a bit sad to hear some of the challenges that women are facing, and I'm really hoping having discussions like this are really going to highlight this, and there'll be a transformation in even in other industries. Imelda, do you have anything to
Mhm.
add to some of the challenges that Jane has highlighted, and what are some of the ways that you feel the obstacles could be effectively tackled?
Mm. Okay, yes. I mean, I sort of like in terms of starting real estate business, as the case may be, I already mentioned that there's that oversight or that look of it's expected that you're a man and all of that. That's one angle, and so you may not be the perception may be a bit in terms of welcoming, while you're carrying out your real estate transaction, may be a bit different from what the males would get. And then, yes, also, if you want to now delve into real estate construction, as the case may be, because like I mentioned earlier, there are different cycles within the real estate industry. There's marketing, there's development, there's project management, and all of that. So if you want to go further and say you want to be a female developer, that's another angle. A female builder, it's another angle. You would always face the gender disparity challenge first as a woman already. And so if it's something that you want to come into, if it's space that you're looking to delve into, you want to be ready mentally to know that this is what you may face, and then see yourself first as a one of the male players, so that you don't feel intimidated, that, oh, I'm a woman, because that intimidation is going to come, you know then also there's also the area of support. Men generally support themselves a lot. I mean, Jane mentioned it at events, in circles. Generally, men support themselves, and then women do not really have that support. First of all, how many women are even playing in this space, and then now with looking for support from men who are the most dominated gender in the real estate industry. And so there's that area of support coming in. But the way that to come over this is showing yourself forth as knowing what you are doing. Because there's anytime anybody, if you come into a space and you are clearly confident of what you're doing, you know what you're doing, there's nowhere anybody's going to take away that knowledge from you. So you want to always put your best foot forward and show that you are also capable of playing in that space. So be very knowledgeable. If you need to go for further studies, if you need to improve yourself, via trainings, via courses, you might as well want to go into that and take up all those kind of courses just to be well grounded, in the real estate space. And then now for women who want to own properties, as the case may be, yes, it's also most times you find out that a lot of time women who are maybe married would not come to buy properties on their own. We have that experience a lot of times. Most of our buyers are men and not women. And then you wonder why it's that way. A lot of women are not prone to purchasing properties for themselves. Most times when women come into play, they are doing it because their husband wants to buy a house or their husband wants to buy a land, and then they are going forward to ask questions on behalf of their husband and all of that. And you're saying, what of yourself as a woman? So I think that there's that need now for women to begin to see real estate or owning a property as owning a bag or as owning a shoe. What I mean is that it's an integral part of your life or of your commodities you should earn or own while you're here on earth. especially if you have the capacity or you can afford to buy a property. And there are some, I think then in the past, I don't think this happens recently, but there are still some places where it happens, where they are telling you that you have to bring your husband forward before you can, purchase a property, or it has to be in the name of your husband, yourself and your husband. There's that happens for in some cases of real estate purchases. And that's why you want to go work with reputable real estate firms that do not put in this gender disparity or bias in while a real estate transaction is going on. It's open to everybody, whether you are a male or you are a female. There used to be that challenge where it has to come from your husband, or your husband has to be involved in the transaction. And up till tomorrow, I mean, it's still there where, like Jane had mentioned, titles are not given to women in some real estate purchases, especially when you are buying from family. They'll tell you, okay, so they need a man to be there. And that's why I also mentioned that you want to go through your real estate transaction process through reputable firms that would ensure that whether you are a man or a woman, you're able to own a property. That's one way to handle that challenge in terms of real estate purchases, as the case may be. And if you want to purchase with your husband, I mean, no one is saying you shouldn't do that. Ensure that your name is also on the title document and clearly stated. So it's not just Mr. and Mrs. XYZ. No, it's Mr. Alex and Mrs. Imelda, your full names, as the case may be, if you want to go ahead and purchase it jointly with your husband. So that's one of the, I think, some of the few challenges that I feel like women encounter. Now, for women who want to go into a role such as project management in real estate, yes, there's also tendency of the artisans not listening to you because you are a woman, and that happens a lot of times. So female engineers, female project managers may face the challenges of not being listened to on site, being revolted by the artisan. In fact, sometimes what they even do is if you have a male colleague, they tend to listen to who is even your subordinate. They may want to listen to your male colleague over you. And so what you can do in that regard is, like I said, you put your best foot forward, be sure that you know what you're doing, and then also you want to probably go you have a bit of emotional intelligence in place, as the case may be. And how can you do that? You want to ensure that, okay, if there's a routine, which I know I've spoken with a lady in the past about this, she's a female engineer, and one of the questions I asked her was, how are you able to manage artisans? And she said, this is something that happens a lot of times. All engineers, all female project managers face this. And then for her, what she was able to do is that she would speak with the HR in terms of weekly remuneration or disbursements for the artisans or the workers on site, ensuring that it comes through her and not, so somehow they are seeing it that, oh, our welfare is being taken care of by this woman. So you want to also use a lot emotional intelligence in managing these people, as the case may be, because there's always that's that thing that's, oh, this is a woman, and then between women and men. So yes, depending on the area that you're coming from in the real estate space, whether you're a marketer, or you want to start construction, or you're an engineer, or you are even now the buyer, these are like some of the challenges that you may face, and these are, I feel like, some ways that you can handle these challenges. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Karen. Hello, Karen. Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's one of those technical issues again. But I'd like to ask a question before she comes back. I think she has gone back to the mode again. So I'd like to ask a question as a man. What How can young ladies who wants to start up in this industry, if you are going to advise a young lady who is thinking about venturing into real estate, what are the active steps she need to take? Thank you.
Okay. So for me, like when putting myself as an example, when I started in the real estate space, I was quite really young, and I would say that first you have to be very knowledgeable. I mean, of course, if you say that this is what you want to do, I'd expect that you already sort of like have an understanding. But if you don't, you want to have proper understanding of the different um, processes in real estate and different aspects of real estate, as the case may be. And this is you gathering knowledge on your own. You do not have to have studied estate management or any real estate related course. Whatever course that you have, whatever degree that you have, you can venture into the sector. That's one good thing about the real estate industry. But how you go about it is a major thing. So you want to take up courses, as I mentioned, or trainings that will guide you in terms of being knowledgeable, because you're going to meet with different players within the space. You're going to, aside from the seller, so I'm assuming that you want to venture first. But the easiest part of it is being a real estate market person or real estate sales person, as the case may be, or an agent, as we probably understand. Now, the easiest way to go about it, like I said, is understand the various aspects of a real estate transaction, you know, because you're going to meet with lawyers, you're going to meet with surveyors, you're going to meet with different core professionals within the real estate cycle, and you don't want to come off as not being knowledgeable or understanding the aspects. So you want to have proper understanding of all the aspects of a real estate transaction. That's if you're coming in as a real estate marketer. Now, as the case may be very knowledgeable. And when you come off as being knowledgeable, you will definitely be taken seriously. Also enhance your skills to help your clients better find a property if they're looking for a property. Enhance your skills to help them through that process and let them understand that you are actually on their side, while also understanding that you need to bridge the gap between the real estate owner or the developer, as the case may be, or whoever you're selling the property for, and the person that is buying. You're supposed to be the connector between both of them. So you need to understand your role properly if you're coming in as a marketer or as an agent, as the case may be. And then you want to be very professional in your in your process, right? Every aspect of professionalism. In fact, I always say that real estate marketers and agents are supposed to be the most professional people, because you need different classes of people, and the more professional you are, the higher transactions you can manage, because people will trust you more, and be able to work with you, right? So you want to display every form of professionalism. You have to always bring the value of the property that you are selling forward, as against selling through emotions or sentiments. You want to also ensure that you always understand yourself. So sometimes don't sell because you want to make money. There's some transactions that we don't take our think means, because we don't think that it is going to be of value to the buyer, right? So don't do it because, oh, I just want to ensure that I'm selling something. No, do you believe in that project before you venture into selling it? Is it something that you can buy for yourself? So those are the things that one of the aspects that I would mention in terms of being a real estate marketer. And if there's a female here who wants to even go into development, great, but understand the integrities of it and go first. I always say value, ensure that you're bringing forward the value. If you want to go into real estate development, take up all the courses that you need to take up, and then also go into development to change the narrative. Ensure that you have the best hands working with you, in terms of every aspect, like lawyers, architects, surveyors, and then yes, before you go into any real estate transaction, you also conduct the due diligence on the project even before your buyer comes on board. Ensure that you have gotten all the documents and ensure that you have done your search personally so that you don't get into trouble while you're selling a property. You sell the wrong property, So these are like some of my what's it called, my suggestions for someone who a female who is looking to venture into the real estate industry, whether as a marketer or even as a developer, as the case may be. Thank you.
Okay. I think Karen is back. Okay, take it up
Yes.
from there now.
Thank you so much for holding down the fort. So, Jane, you could let us know what are some of the advice you have for young ladies who are looking to get started in the real estate space.
All right. I'll give an example of myself. One of the things that I would want to tell the young ladies, the first question you must ask yourself is, why are you getting into the real estate industry? What is your why? What is that big why? What is your passion? Are you getting into the real estate business to just make money, or that is what drives you? Because if your why is big enough, it will give you the staying power in the real estate business. Because as we said, there are challenges that you will face by just being a lady in this space. And therefore, your why must be very strong, very compelling, and that is what is going to drive you. When things are up, when things are down, your why will keep you in that space. And as my colleague Imelda has said, there are things that you must do as a lady or anybody else who wants to get into any space. And now addressing the real estate industry. One, you have to educate yourself. There is so much information out there. There are courses one can take. You can go to the internet. There's a lot of learning you can get from the internet. Educate yourself. Learn about this space that you want to get into. This real estate industry or business that you want to get into. How does it look like in your own space, in your own country? What are the regulations that you must follow? What are the things that you must do to be able to succeed in this business? And then you need to build yourself a network. Once you have been able to, once you know exactly what you want, you have done your research, you have educated yourself, build yourself a network. You can join professional networking bodies that are there in your country. You can join networking events. There are many events that are held, not necessarily for real estate, but many networks that will help you grow as a career person, as a business lady, as a real estate professional. You have to get out there and get yourself a network, and also get people who can mentor you, people who have been in this business for long, who can work with you, who can tell you these are the loops that you must know, these are the things that you must know, these are the things and the pitfalls that you must avoid in this business. Look and get yourself a good mentor who can provide guidance, who can share with you their experiences, who can offer advice, because that is going to be instrumental and helpful as you go on in the journey of in the real estate. And developing yourself, developing the essential skills that you need. If it's communication, how do you communicate? How do you come into this space, and how do you how do you convince a client that they should buy from you? So you have to develop the essential skills that you require for this business. And I can tell you, in this business is there's a lot that you have to do on one. So your communication skills have to be top notch, your marketing skills have to be top notch, your negotiation skills have to be top notch. All these things will help you in the industry, even as you get into this space. You also have to be very informed what is going on, what are the new things that are happening, what are the market trends, which areas are growing and developing? Where is the government targeting to put up infrastructure, the roads, the airstrips, and all this? Keep yourself informed. Know the market trends. Know the regulations, because these are the ones that will keep you ahead of the pack. Another thing that is most important in this day and age is technology. We cannot afford to ignore technology. Right now, the people who succeed most in this space are those people who've been able to leverage on technology. You have to be big in technology. You can't shy away from Facebook, you can't shy away from Instagram and every other mode of from YouTube. Anything that will get you ahead, leverage on technology. If you get into the real estate business as a business owner, have a real estate financial, what I would call something that will help you keep your books. You cannot afford to just keep your books and your records haphazardly. You have to have a tool and a CRM system that would help you to keep your books right, to keep your records right. And that's part of the technology that you'd need to leverage on. Get to know what are other people doing. Do your research, go to the internet, go to YouTube, study other companies that are successful, study individuals that are successful, so that you get to learn, what can I pick from this person, what can I pick from this company, what can I pick from this, and build your knowledge storage so that tomorrow you're able to you're able to get ahead. Another thing, your personal branding. How do people perceive you? Today, when I talk about myself, I say Jane of Amara Realty, and people are able to identify Jane of Amara Realty because I've built a personal brand. What is your personal brand? What is your image? When people think about uh, you as a young girl who has gotten into this space of real estate, what exactly do they see? What image do you put out there? Because you have to have a very professional image, both online, when people see you online, offline, how do you carry yourself? That needs to be polished. You need to look good. You need to present yourself well. You need to package yourself right as a young girl. When you do your content creation, how do you create that content? How do you present it? How do you put yourself out there? Do people actually like hearing you when they see something that has come from Jane of Amara Realty? Do they want to listen to the end? How do you package your content creation? And again, I cannot overemphasize. One of the things that you will learn, and you will learn quickly in this industry, is that you have to have very sound financial management skills. And a lot of people, both male and female, have actually fallen, and big businesses have fallen because they lacked the required financial management skills that they need for their business. You have to be able to differentiate your money and client money, because a lot of people mix the two. You go to your bank account and you have $1 million and you think this is your money. Yet, this is money that has been paid in by clients for projects that are ongoing. You must ensure that you do not take that money and take it to personal projects. That is very critical because we've seen this as a major downfall for many companies, the lack of financial management skills. That has really made many companies and many people to fall. And in all this, in the real estate industry, what will keep you going is your ethics, it's your integrity, and most importantly, you have to be resilient and you have to be patient. You don't build Rome in one day. You don't become a billionaire overnight. You have to be willing to take the baby steps. You have to be willing to start from the ground and work yourself up. You don't look at the counterparts in the industry and see they have made it and you want to make it overnight. Because the moment you have that temptation, you are going to cut corners. You're going to cut corners and it's going to be very risky and you're going to lose your business. So be resilient, be patient, grow organically. Grow organically. Take time to grow and you'll be sure that you've built a very firm foundation for your business. So those are some of the things that I would encourage the young people or the young ladies who would want to get into the real estate, some of the things that you can apply yourself to so that you're sure that you're headed in the path of success. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much to both you and Imelda. That was some sound advice. Be resilient, be patient, and don't be afraid to grow slowly. Remember, if you have any questions for the speaker, please do tweet below and we'll be able to read out the questions to the speakers so they can answer you. And if you want to add a comment, please send in a request to be a speaker and we'll be adding you shortly. Thank you so much to our speakers. I did want to ask about technology, and Jane did touch up on that, on using a CRM system. She did also mention those who embrace technology are the ones who make it. Imelda, on the technology questions, what are some of the ways that technology can be used to enhance accessibility and inclusivity so then more women are in this industry in Africa?
Oh well, I mean, I think means we are the forerunner of real estate marketing via digital means. Up to date, every client that we have transacted with, I think means has been through the digital means. Basically, and that's why we champion ourselves as real estate marketing firm in Nigeria. So we market for developers using, or project owners as the case may be, using technology, using new technology. And you cannot overemphasize the power and the importance of technology in real estate sales or transactions. I'll run a few of them. Now, for the marketing side of it, digital marketing has proven to be one of the best methods for me of generating leads for your real estate transaction. Why do I say this? Because it gives you the ability to track your leads that have been generated, right? So unlike offline marketing, whereby you have to wait for people to call you, digital marketing allows you to get data and collect data that you can make use of. And now there are ways that you can make use of this data using technology. They are cold calling first, and then also email marketing, and then even other types of marketing, SMS, retargeting, as the case may be in your marketing methods. And the use of CRM is also very important, right? You need to adapt to a CRM tool as a real estate firm. Whether you want to go as far as HubSpot or you want to go as far as high as Salesforce. Some people would say that these ones are a bit pricey, and yes, they could be. You can also do your Google, your G Suite is a very clear example of a low cost CRM tool that you can make use of. Your Excel sheets, it's really strong. On your Excel sheet, you can input all the data that you get from your marketing there, and then you can keep track of your conversations with these clients or with these leads, as the case may be. And then when they eventually turn into clients, you can also keep track of their of their activities. You can do automated emails on your Google Sheets. Right, so it doesn't have to be usage of another platform. Like I mentioned, it's a couple of them: HubSpot, Salesforce. It doesn't have to even go as high as your Google Sheet on its own, which everybody has access to. Every Gmail account has a Google Sheet. On your Google Sheets alone, you can properly manage your prospects and your clients. You can keep up to date with payment schedules and payment management. You can also keep up to date record on inflows. Jane made mention of being able to separate clients' money from your money. You can do all of these using your Google Sheets, right? And so that's one area that technology has helped in terms of real estate processes, right? Even in terms of operations within the office, your Google Sheet is a very important tool, right? You can communicate with staff, with colleagues using Google. Even Google Docs, you can upload images of your projects, of your on-site updates and all the activities that are happening on your site, on your Google folder or your Google Docs. and share with all your clients automated. You can automate these processes as well via in applications on the Google Sheets, right? You can plug in email platforms and integrate these email services that work with Google on your Google Sheets and automate your email processes. And then you can now also include a bit of email marketing through platforms like MailChimp, where you can also send out emails to your automated emails to your or scheduled emails to your prospects and your existing clients as well. So these are like some ways that technology has helped in terms of marketing. Now, for a real estate company, that is not also focused on only marketing, you want to also make use of technology for your activities within the company. How do you record your processes, your materials that you have bought? How do you make record of your activities on sites, your schedules? All of these things can also be done using technology. And then you can also have a proper understanding of all the things, all the aspects of the real estate business, using technology. I always say that it's also very important as a real estate company to keep a track record of your clients' inflow and outflow, right? And technology also helps in this. When you have an automated invoicing system, you're able to keep a track record of all the payments that have come in through a particular customer, because you make use of that invoicing system. So you use that same system to send them their invoice, and use that same system to also remind them of due payments. This is a way that technology can also help you in managing receivables from customers. And then another key important way you can also make use of technology is also in terms of mapping out your sites and locations, right? So when you want to go for inspections, it's so easy to direct and say, okay, landmarks, right? You have landmarks because you make use of Google Maps. As a real estate practitioner, it's very important that you understand Google Maps properly. That way you can access any sites without having to call while you are on with your prospects. I feel like it's very unprofessional for you to be asking for directions while you're with your prospects on a real estate transaction or a sales transaction. And so one way that you can work with it is using Google Maps. So your prospect doesn't know that you're looking for the way around, where you're going to. So these are like minor ways that you can integrate technology into your real estate processes. Understand Google Sheets, or every aspect of the Google Docs, Google Sheets. Google Sheets, I always say, there's a lot you can do with your Google Sheets. So it's free. You can use it on your personal email, even if you don't have a company email. With your personal email that allow you at gmail.com, you can make use of your Google Sheets there, and then you can begin to email your clients once you're able to integrate these mailing apps on your Google Sheets. Right. So these are like I don't know if yes, and then also enhance your skills in terms of marketing. Now, if you need to take up marketing courses for Facebook marketing, also Google marketing, and then also on Facebook, when you generate leads, you're able to also follow through with them. There are automated processes that you can make use of to send them emails, even from Facebook, without even moving them to Google Sheets now, as the case may be. So yes, and these courses are everywhere. You can just improve on your technological skills. And then also, yes, even as little as WhatsApp Business is your WhatsApp Business platform automated? Do you have to wait forever to hear from you? When you're not online, nobody gets a feedback from you. If I drop a message, no, there's no response. So you want to make use of that platform to ensure that you have an automated message on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on all the social media platforms, where you're responding to questions without you actually being there physically, and then you can come back to give more information when you're back online. And then also work on yourself, right? Work on your branding, your personal branding, and across all your platforms, because clients would find out, clients would ask questions, they want to know more about you, and so you want to also ensure that you are well represented on these platforms.
Thank,
Thank you, Karen.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, thank you. You've mentioned some very, very interesting tools, and most of them are free. So I'm writing down notes, I'm writing down the tips, and I hope you are too. I'm seeing your request to become speakers. I'm going to be accepting them in a moment. And remember that we are giving out 5 tickets to 5 lucky participants of this Twitter space. If you would like to qualify to win a ticket to our upcoming conference that's happening at the Fairmont on the 28th and 29th of June, follow us on X and retweet 5 of our posts, and you'll stand a chance to win a ticket. So, and if you have any questions for the speakers, please do ensure that you respond below on this tweet. So, thank you so much to our speakers. I'm really learning so much. I'm also getting enlightened on some of the challenges that women are facing, and I hope you are too. And we are getting some solid advice. So, I would love to ask Jane. Since you are in Kenya and Imelda is in Nigeria, so and you guys seem to share the same experiences. Women in Africa seem to face the same challenges when it comes to being in the industry. So, Jane, is there anything specific to Kenya, a challenge that you feel is specific to Kenya, or something in our culture that needs to get changed in order for more women in Kenya to be able to register or to be able to enter the industry? Or how can other women in other countries be able to join the industry in Kenya? Basically, give us a highlight of the Kenyan real estate industry.
Thank you so much, Karen. When I look at the industry, the Kenya real estate industry, it's predominantly male. So we do not find a lot of women in this space. That said, Imelda had alluded to the fact that there are different kind of players. We have the sellers, we have the buyers, we have the developers, we have the agents, and all that. There is a trend that I have seen that is very interesting, particularly in Kenya. I don't know whether it's happening in Nigeria, but we have seen a lot of women now coming up to take on real estate and to become real estate owners. As I said before, the culture was that such that women were not real estate owners. And when I talk about owners, it means that they were not in the title document, in as much as probably they contributed towards the purchase of that property, but they would not become title holders of that property. But I have seen in the last couple of years that trend changing drastically. And we have seen women rise up to actually own property, to own homes, to own land, and that is huge. When I speak to my male counterparts in this market, you will find that if you're selling a project, almost 70 to 80% of the uptick is now women as opposed to men. So for me, that's a good thing that is happening, that women have actually woken up and they have realized that they have a space in this place of the real estate. They can be real estate owners and they have taken on that and they are doing it big time. When I look at my database, 80%, 85% are women. And there's that percentage of couples that come, but mainly women are the ones who are taking up. And it's not because I am a lady seller, but we have seen that even with other players in the market, when I ask them about who are your main clients, and predominantly women have now taken up the first position being real estate owners, which is a good thing for us. That said, we still have the challenge, particularly now for the women who are now the real actors, the players in terms of the sellers, in terms of the agents. We still have that issue of the bias that would need to be addressed. So there needs to be a cultural change where everybody appreciates that whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you're able to deliver a product. I sell homes. And when I sell homes, I would expect to be treated with the same kind of respect as my other male counterparts. I don't want to have to prove myself 3 times for somebody to believe that I can actually do this, that I can actually build homes, that I can actually provide good real estate solutions. So those are some of the things that would need to change. We need to be taken for who we are, as equal partners, as equal players. So a lot needs to be done to address that kind of bias that there is in the minds of people. And I'm saying the minds of people because I think a lot of it is in the minds of people, and it's something that we have grown up with, and something that would need to actually change for us to be able to get equal opportunities in this market. Um, so that's one of the things that I would say that would need to be done for us to be able to play at equal levels with our male counterparts. And we also need mentorship. Women would need mentorship because, as it is, men players have gone ahead of us. So, would need to have people who are willing to actually hold the hands of women and help them to come up and actually be able to take up that space and thrive in that space as well. And also, as women, we have to challenge ourselves to become better, challenge ourselves to do things differently. When I look at the market, particularly here in Kenya, one of the things that I learned is that for me to stand out as a woman in the real estate, I have to do things differently. So when I go to projects, I actually go and add more value so that people are actually attracted to the project. And then now they will come to know actually the person behind this project is actually a woman. So you gain respect by doing things differently, by putting your best foot forward, by not cutting corners and remaining very, very open, being having a lot of integrity in this market. As I said earlier, integrity is actually what will take anybody in this space very far. Because the moment you mess up a name, it's so hard to redeem it. But the moment people that they know that they can trust so and so, they can trust Jane of Amara Realty, they can trust Imelda, they will keep coming. They will keep coming. And the business of real estate, in as much as we go out there and market, a lot of what we get is actually referrals. You sell to somebody and they come back. Somebody refers somebody else. So maintaining your name up there in such a way that you'll never get tainted and you'll never be painted in bad light is very critical and very crucial. So those are some of the things. Karen, over to you.
Thank you so much. Integrity is everything.
Yeah.
And leadership, from what I've heard, there's a lack of women in leadership positions in the Kenyan real estate industry. So this is a call for more women to take up space in the real estate industry and in any other industry you are in. Imelda, over to you. What are some of the challenges, or how's the environment for women in Nigeria in the real estate industry?
Okay, I mean, here in Nigeria, it's very interesting because we actually have a lot of women or women-led organizations, especially in the areas of sales, real estate sales. There are lots of ladies who are selling properties, and I always say be very professional so that you can retain your clients and then you can grow the business beyond you into a brand, because that's also very important. So that's one thing that I always talk to ladies about who venture into real estate sales, and then you want to be showcase a lot of integrity. You want to ensure that you are actually there because you want to give value. I mentioned value the other time. There's value in what you're doing, and it's not just because you want to make money, because once the buyers understand that that's what it is in for you, more than their own the value for them, what they stand to gain from purchasing from you, it becomes a bit of a problem. So you want to be able to manage both scenarios and bridge the gap properly between the property developer and the buyer, as the case may be. That is now for those who are practicing real estate sales. We also have a couple of real estate developers here in Nigeria that are female, or people that head real estate development companies. You have a couple of them here, and then you find out that these businesses actually stand out. I think means we organized a conference called the Real Estate Discussions and Awards, and at our last event last year, we actually had a panel session that was focused on women. And one of the things that I got from that panel session, and every other panelist afterwards agreed to, was the fact that women have the ability to be very organized and detailed. And so you want to ensure that this skill, this God-given ability that we already have as women, plays out, when you are involved in the real estate business. You want to take in your organization that you already have. You want to bring in your attention to detail skills that you already have, and ensure that it is now done professionally. So yes, we have a couple of women that are running these organizations in Nigeria. Also, we have a lot of organizations that are women focused in terms of investments, groups, that are women focused in terms of real estate investment. So what you do in these organizations is that you can come together as women, collectively own a property, and that's where it's easy for you. You're sharing the entry fees across yourself. You're sharing the payment schedules across yourself. You're able to negotiate as a group. We have these organizations in Nigeria, and that's where you're able to. So if you find this kind of organization, you can also join them and be able to purchase a lot of. So these people buy in bulk, so that's where you can have a real estate portfolio across different locations, as the case may be. There are also a lot of women who buy. In fact, most of the projects that are done in Lagos, in terms of joint venture, when you check the title documents, sort of the women owned by women. So yes, women are already waking up to the need to own properties in their names, and I always mention this that anytime I'm talking to women, that please, in everything that you do in your lifetime, ensure that you own a property. Ensure that you own a property. If you can afford more than one property, please do that. And there are different ways that you can access these properties, either individually or in groups, these organizations that I have mentioned. And there are also now financial institutions that are open to supporting women who want to purchase homes, in terms of mortgages. And in fact, we have mortgages that are directed at women. There's one that we're currently working on now. It's sort of like targeted at women by the Family Home Funds in Nigeria. And so you want to make use of those kind of platforms too. So look for properties that fit into those financial opportunities, and then make use of them. Because another thing people don't understand is that not every property is suitable for a mortgage. So you want to ask your a trusted real estate sales firm, which properties are available for you to access mortgage on, and how you can access this mortgage. And there are banks in Nigeria who actually have tailor-made financial plans for you as a woman. So you want to make use of these platforms. So yes, the narrative is actually changing now. There's more advocacy for women to be involved in real estate, and there are a large number of them doing it currently in Nigeria. We just need to make it more. We just need to, as I said earlier, bring in your value. If you're in that space as a player, or if you're coming in as a buyer, there are platforms that support you in achieving your goal.
Thank you so much for that, and kudos to the women of Nigeria for finally taking a bold step to get involved in the real estate industry. So, as we wind up, I would like to give Jeremy. I'm hoping it's Jeremy, I'm not sure because it's written Jerry. Are you there? Could you please say hi?
Yes, hello. Hi, Karen, and thank you for this opportunity. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Imelda and Jane for the insightful discussions that you have had today. I only had 3 questions for Imelda and Jane. Any one of them can answer. The first question is, assuming maybe you worked under someone previously before you became independent or founded your own company or organization, how did you navigate power structures early in your career versus late in your career when you're already established or had a more defined role? And the second question, I know that you've already given advice to the young women already in the sector, and so I just wanted to maybe a parting shot for us, just a final advice. Will you give to young women today, which maybe if you were given maybe previously when you were starting in your career, it will have been very helpful to you. And then the final question to you, to both of you, is how do you empower yourself and the women around you in this sector? Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to take the question on navigating if you were working somewhere before, because I sort of like fall into that category. I used to work before I started my company, Think Make Nigeria. So one thing for me was the fact that I was, for lack of choice of words, the love of my clients, right? And so it was just easy for me to scale. A lot of people said that they were working with Imelda and not with the company. And now this for me is not with disregard to the company, but in terms of ensuring that you are also able to build yourself. I always tell even my staff that you need to be able to build yourself and gather enough integrity. People should just trust you. And the only way that that can happen is in capacity. And then the only way that you can build capacity is by seeking knowledge, finding knowledge, and being good at what you do. And then also showcasing a high level of integrity. People should be able to trust you and realize that because the transaction is with Imelda or is with you, right, they don't have a problem. And that's what has always been the fallback for us, I think, means is the fact that a lot of customers, I've had clients who have purchased from us and then they say, okay, my other transaction that I have done in the past, could you handle it for me? Could you see that I did it right? Could you help me speak to the person who sold to me? You know, these are transactions that we didn't even handle. They say, oh, we didn't know you then, now we know you, and then want you to. And then going forward, every other property I want to buy, if you do not verify it, I'm not going to buy. So you just want to put yourself in that position. And the only way to do that is by showcasing capacity. And how can you showcase capacity? Is by understanding, knowing what you're doing. And we've emphasized it here today, knowledge. You need to always be in the know. You need to gather all the information that you can, and they are everywhere. There are free platforms. You can take up paid courses, but there are also free courses that you can take up. There are events like this are places that you can learn. There are events being done every time in the real estate space. You want to go there and get all the information that you need, and then also work on yourself in terms of being trustworthy. Can people trust you with their money? So we've had clients who have gone through different transactions level with us and like, okay, you know what, the money is with you, just help us search for a property that we can always put in our investments into. Also help us ensure that we're working with the right team of engineers and developers, as the case may be. So you want to put yourself in that position, and be very reliable, as the case may be. And that way, people would always search for you, and the sky will be your limit. That's one in terms of navigating from working to being to owning your own real estate firm. I've used myself as an example in that regard. I just wanted to throw in some lights there. So I would allow Jane take the other question. Just so.
All right. Even before I go to the next question, maybe I would want to add something on the first question in terms of you've been employed and you want to navigate into the real estate. And this is not just getting into the real estate. If you're coming from any form of employment and you want to go into any form of business, my advice for anybody is first learn the loops whilst you're still in employment. Do not jump ship and say now you're going to start a real estate business. You have to first of all know that it's working before you jump out. A good example for myself, I started real estate a bit earlier before I started the company that I am in, Amara Realty. And I started around 2016, 2017. But I started when I was still in employment. So all the things that I needed to learn about real estate, I actually learned them when I had a safety net. So be careful when you want to jump and to do something different, that you're going in when you already know exactly what it is that you're going to do. Because there are many people who've left employment, gone into business, and have failed because they didn't learn and they didn't understand that particular business. So it's important that you do understand the business that you're getting into. You're getting into the real estate, understand what it takes to be in the real estate business, and you can only understand it by experience. So start earlier. If you want to do agency, you can start by selling land, selling houses. Learn how is it done. And then now, when you have learned and you know that you can actually manage on your own, then you can jump and get into it full time. So that's my advice for somebody who would want to leave employment and get into the real estate. Now, the other thing that we've been asked is what advice would you give to young women? And this advice cuts across, not just in the real estate business. And these are things you can apply on a day to day basis and will get you ahead in life. I already said you need to have your compelling why or your compelling vision in this business or in any business that for that matter. And once you have that compelling vision, be diligent. Apply yourself to diligence. Make most of your time count. Whatever it is that you're doing, let it count. And you have to give everything that you have towards what you're committed to. If you're committed to the real estate, you have to give all that you have towards it. You have to give yourself to hard work. This business is not for the faint hearted. You have to work hard. You have to go an extra mile. You have to research. You have to find out what other people are doing to be successful. So, hard work is part and parcel of this and for you to be able to succeed. And in this business, you have to pay attention to every single detail. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to pay attention to details. You have to focus. You have to if you're told this is a plan, assuming like for me, I sell land and it has to be subdivided, I have to pay attention to details. How is it subdivided? Am I getting the proper value for this subdivision? Are my clients able to access what is it that I can do to improve this? You have to pay attention to details. Every single thing that comes to your table, you have to scrutinize it, you have to look at it wisely. And whatever it is that you start, be diligent, be patient, finish.
All right. I think on this note, would like to say very big thank you to our speakers. They have been amazing. You will agree with us that there have been quality information that has been shared here tonight is something worth paying hundreds of dollars for. I want to say very big thank you to our both speakers today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time to dish out some of these informations you have shared with us today. And I'm very certain that we are going to take these informations and use them to run in the coming weeks. So thank you so much. Karen, are you back? If you are back, please, you can just wrap up so that we can end the meeting for today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. So this event is brought to you by African Real Estate International Limited. Currently, we have two products in the market, which is our Africa Real Estate Summit, and then the Africa Real Estate Certificate Masterclass. So what we do basically is to give out quality informations like this, invite speakers who have the technical know-how, who have tested time and season, and we bring them on platforms like this to be able to share with us and equip us with basic information to take us to the next level in our career. And on the 28th and 29th of June 2024, we are going to be live in Nairobi, Kenya, and we're going to be having an event just like this, but this time is going to be a physical event. For more of this information, all you have to do is just to pre-register on the platform. If you go on our Twitter handle at ARE Internation, you'll be able to see the registration link there. All you just need to do, click it, and it will give you all the information you need to know. On this note, we'd like to say a very big thank you once again to Imelda Usuru Olaoye. I hope I got it right this time. Thank you for your time today. Very insightful information you have shared and what is happening. She's the Imelda Usuru Olaoye is the managing partner of Think Meet Nigeria and the founder of Business Women Hub. Thank you so much for taking your time to share with us today. And also would like to also say very, very big thank you to Jane Bayu. I hope the pronunciation is also correct. She is the CEO and founder of Amara Realty. And we are looking forward also to having you or seeing you again in Nairobi during the course of our event in June 28 and 2019. So on this note, we would like to end the conversation. If we cannot have Lauren back, I would like you started this. I would have loved you to finally put it to an end. A very, very big thank you to Karen Wambugu. She's such an amazing young lady doing amazing things across the continent. She is, I'll quickly just look at her profile and just read to us. I'd like to say a very big thank you on behalf of the Africa Real Estate International Limited. Karen Wambugu is a digital marketing expert, a digital marketing trainer, a digital event host, just like she has been hosting this event effectively. And she has been featured on BBC News and Kiss TV. We're also likely going to be having her join us as one of the moderators or a speaker at the digital marketing session at the Africa Real Estate Certificate Masterclass in Kenya on the 28th of June 2024. So Karen, I've tried to add you back. Can you just accept it as a speaker so that you can wrap this up, and then we just close for today. Thank you so much for everybody who have joined us today, taking your busy schedule to be part of us. This conversation is going to be listened by more people. Shortly after this event, we are going to take the pre-recorded content of this event and spread it across the length and breadth to reach a lot of women. Our goal is to empower women, and that is why in all our 6 courses we have outlined for this edition of the Certificate Masterclass in Kenya, we have added the role women in African real estate because we want to empower women as much as possible. In our organization, we have over 4 to 5 women who are in the leadership position in our organization. And so we are very women friendly. I want to give more women the role to lead their career. So once again, thank you so much. It's been a very great time having every one of us. On this note, we'd like to end these conversations today. I want to say thank you, and thank you. Stay blessed. All right. So Karen has reached out to me. She has asked me to totally end the conversations. But we are likely going to have another conversation on the 13th of June. Between 13th and 15th of June, there's going to be an information that will be shared during the course of this. So once again, thank you. We are going to be cutting this and bringing it to an end now. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the night. Bye.